will be talking about NYSC credit scheme. Is this a good idea? Like I said, today we are diving into a groundbreaking opportunity for Nigerian youth. The federal government youth credit scheme launched in partnership with the NYSC and Credit Corp. This initiative offers core members access to affordable loans up to 200,000 naira at single-digit interest rates to cover needs like relocation, work tools, or small businesses. But there's the twist. It's not just about the money. Applicants must complete a financial literacy course teaching responsible borrowing and credit management. So is this a good idea? Well, some say it is a lifeline for young Nigerians starting their careers. Others worry about repayment risk. We want your thoughts on this. Are you an NYSC member who is applied? Now call us now on the numbers displayed on your screen. You can also send us a WhatsApp message on the same number displayed on your screen. And before the calls start rolling in, Maimuna, you had what we will be talking about in the phone-in segment today. NYSC credit scheme. There are pros and cons. You know, there are disadvantages and there are advantages, of course. The advantages is to provide a financial help to the NYSC youth core members. And one disadvantage we are all worried about is the repayment scheme. How will the repayment be? You know, we'll start with 200,000 naira. So what do you think about it before the calls start coming in?
Okay, before I share my thoughts on that, we have a caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning, Bagudu. Good morning, Maryam.
Good morning, Shatima.
Thank you for calling this morning. Shatima, how is Maiduguri this morning?
Maiduguri is fine. Maiduguri is cool. Maiduguri, we are okay. It's peace.
Good to know. Please kindly share your thoughts on the topic at hand.
Honestly speaking, NYSC is a good scheme. To me, it's a good one. And I have never seen what a very wonderful scheme, and it is helping the youth of Nigeria, and it is become an eye opener to know the geography of Nigeria, to see physically how Nigeria is, and the custom of various ethnic groups. Well, it's a good scheme, honestly speaking. And we know I was from Maiduguri. As you know, I born in Maiduguri, I grew up in Maiduguri, and I attend my school in Maiduguri right from the primary up to my PhD level. But when I come to the NYSC, I was posted to Benin. That is the opportunity that I see Benin. And I interact with the people of Benin. I serve them, and up to date, after 2 decades of my NYSC, up to date we are communicating with the people of Benin. And we have become like one family. Anything that happened to me, they will call and sympathize with me. And anything I had bad about them, I will call and sympathize with them. We celebrate each other despite the distance. You see, it is a good scheme. You see, a southerner will come to the northerner. A southerner will come to the north, and after the NYSC, majority of them, they settle down. And it's great intermarriage. What do you want apart from that? You see, and so some youth, they use the NYSC allowance to generate capital, to establish business. And we see a lot of them. Then what do you want? Honestly speaking, NYSC scheme is a good one, and the privilege in you cannot count. By the time you wear that NYSC khaki, you have become a government child. In those days, you can have access to anywhere you want to enter. You will go, and nobody will stop you, because you have become a government child, a government pikin, as Southerners were saying. So you see, NYSC scheme is a very good one. But I don't know after we left, whether we have been corrupt or whatsoever, you know, the culture of Nigerians. But to me, honestly speaking, NYSC is a very good scheme To me. Thank you so much and have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Shetima, for sharing your thoughts on that.
You know, Shetima was talking about, he's talking about the advantage of NYSC, which is, he's very correct. It promotes unity. That's the aim. That was the aim before it was established. But now we're talking about NYSC credit scheme, credit corp under the federal government. Came in collaboration with NYSC to create the NYSC credit scheme for youth corpers to get financial loans. Before I go ahead, we have a caller. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for calling.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you for calling. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Abdullahi Abubakar, calling from Akodi, Benin State Food Basket of the Nation.
Thank you for calling, Abdullahi. What's your take on this topic today?
You see, as my brother Shetima said, generally, NYC scheme is a welcome idea. It's a welcome idea to the nation. But the issue is this. How is it going to be handled? And who is going to handle it? And how credit are we going to give those handling it? Our Nigerian senior men on top, before this thing will be shared or accredited to the NYC, they will undergo a sharing formula between themselves. They will use the capital in making their business in order to regenerate more money and send the little one to the children, that's to the NYC. But if it is going to be handled in a very good way, I think it's the best idea so far the federal government has brought. But if not, my sister, you only hear it on the media that people are saying federal government has accredited a scheme for the NYC, and that's how we're hearing it on air. And ask one of the NYC about the scheme, he will say that he doesn't know anything about it. They will select only few so that they will give them, at the end, they will tell the nation that the scheme has been going around. So I think if it is going to be clean and clear, it is going to be clean and clear, definitely our youth of NYC will enjoy it in the country. Thank you very much. May God bless both TV. May God bless Benue State. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abdullahi. Maimuna, you wanted saying something before the first caller came in.
Yes, you know, the whole scheme thing is a very good initiative. You know, I mean, it's an encouragement for Nigerian youths to make them know that once you're done with your service or you're done with your education, you don't need to come out to start seeking for white-collar jobs or waiting for the federal government, you know, to give you a job. You know, we have seen that, you know, we have, you know, a high level of, you know, unemployment in Nigeria. And it is a good thing because this, you know, this young Nigerians will come out with, you know, soft loans and credit facilities to give them the access to start up a business. And we know one of the major issues that we have in starting up a business in Nigeria, I think even everywhere, is the fact that, you know, people don't have enough capital to start up a business. So it is a good idea. I really, really, you know, commend the idea. But, you know, just like what I think one of the last caller said, he said, you know, who is going to handle this? You know, will these people really get the money? You know, one thing is having these good initiatives. Another thing is what is, you know, implementing them and making sure that, you know, the right people get the funding. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from? Good morning.
Yes. This is Alexander calling from Zaria.
Good morning. Thank you for calling in. Hi, Zaria, this morning.
It's fine.
Please kindly share your thoughts on the topic. I think we lost him.
Is he?
I think we lost him there. Okay, we lost the caller. So, Maryam, like I was saying earlier, I mean, it's a good initiative, but, you know, one thing comes to mind each time I hear schemes like this, initiatives, reforms, really, is it going to be implemented at the end of the day? We have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Thank you very much, Maimuna and Maryam. You are on to.
Thank you for calling. What's your take on this topic today?
Thank you very much. Let me quickly appreciate that. Trust TV for giving us this ample opportunity topic of discussion that has to do with our nation, security first. And then to me, to my own personal understanding, it's a good idea. And then if there is anything, at least our policy makers will do, at least make it more reliable and then more competent, at least to reflect the present reality, that will be very much better. Let me give you one answer. Don't know whether if you are aware of Credit Lyonnais Bank. There is that bank, I think it's a France-based bank. A lady from the southwest come to at least service under that bank under the NYSC. Told me before she arrived Kano, Mama was even crying, telling her that she's going to Sharia town, blah, blah, blah. Understand? When she comes, the reception, the kind of welcome she received, she was shocked. Today, she's still there in Kano, having about 4 children or about 5 children. So to me, it's a communication skill. There is this inter and inter-communication to enable one to understand the culture, the tradition, norms, and the other places. So that's a communication. But the question is, each and every communication has what we consider as feedback mechanism. Now, let us observe the feedback. Today, you observe our leaders, most of our leaders present, they will tell you, I understand this during my NYSC in social environment. I understand this when I interact with social people, when I went to service. This is the kind of things we need to look into. So, as I said, the reality of these days comes largely from the way you think, the way you feel, the way you observe, the way you act. So, possibly, to me, if there is any amendment our policymakers can make, at least to make it more credible, that is what they should be looking into.
Okay, so we are asking our viewers this morning, okay, there's a scheme that has been introduced by the federal government in collaboration with the NYSC, and it is a channel where young graduates, that are done with their service get access to soft loans, to start up a business instead of, coming out and looking for a job. They already have this capital to start up any business of their choice. And this brings us to skill acquisition. So we're asking you now, do you think that scheme is a good thing, that was introduced by the federal government in collaboration with the NYSC? That is what we want to hear from you this morning, your view on that. What do you think? Is it a good idea?
It's a welcome idea, welcome development. Why are we advocating of a skill acquisition center? We are always advocating skill acquisition center. We have ITF, but ITF is not enough. So it's good when you graduate. Even before the graduation, you learn something that you can invest so that you become self-employed at least. That will help us to eradicate the lack of unemployment that we have faced, unemployment we have faced, security challenges, and so on and so forth. So to me, it's a welcome development. It's a good idea. The only thing we lack in our system, we have policies, we have systems, but lack of implementation and the monitoring and evaluation, which is very, very important in each and every system. Monitoring and evaluation is a very, very, very important aspect in each and every governance or each and every NDA. So that at least, and remember, we as a Nigerians, we have the right to know about, how far this system goes about, where and where, who are the beneficiaries. You understand my point? So the issue is this monitoring and evaluation.
is very important, very, very important. And that has to do with what I consider communal effort. So we, the communities, we have to assist the government in at least establishing the policies and make sure that the policies are being implemented the way they plan, the way they do it, so that Nigeria will at least be free from these insecurity challenges and unemployment and so on and so forth. Like I always made mention, Nigeria has all the potentials, we have the resources, we have the manpower, we have the policies, but the implementation. And then secondly, the monitoring and evaluation. Thank you very much. That's my take on this.
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us this morning. You know, Maryam, a lot of people will be asking questions, really, how does this scheme work? You know, first, the core members get to go through training because it's not everybody that have, you know, the capacity and the ability to go into business. Let's be honest. You know, so there is, you know, a training. It's structured already. Let's take this caller and then we'll continue from there.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning. We lost the caller.
Okay, I think we lost the caller. So, okay, we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning. My name is Daniel.
Good morning.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you. Issue of empowerment is a good idea. Not only the NYSC scheme, but it cut across all the sector, transport sector, banking sector, agricultural sector, all the social institutions we know. But the problem lies on how do we utilize those empowerment schemes? That is the problem. Personally, my side was on fish farming when I served at Ibadan some years back. Well, I didn't apply. That scheme was there then. I didn't apply for that. But I know those people who applied. They got the money. But to be sincere, that money was not used for the purpose meant for. The problem did not lie with the government. It's our own mindset. From 1960 till date, every government that come on board, starting from Dodon Barrack to the present Asorok today, they have brought different interventions to alleviate poverty in all the sectors, all the social institutions we have. But those schemes is meant for, we are not utilizing those things properly the way they are. People got the win during Goodluck Jonathan. I know people that were giving 8 million, but those money were spent in other way around. Some get married, some build private houses, some using for other issues not meant for a UN program. Then I think the purpose of the UN is to create job opportunity. As they give you that money, you establish your business. You at least employ like not less than 5 people, depending on the type of project you brought on board for you to start up with. So the same thing is happening to our NYSC members. Give them that money. Okay, imagine the 77,000 you are giving them. You will see social media, some will be going and be buying chicken, roasted chicken, just to enjoy themselves. Can you imagine that kind of thing? Forgetting that they are still waiting for them in the labor market. So it's not the government are trying. I used to tell people, no government that come on board that have never brought one or two other schemes that will empower Nigerians, but us, that the program is meant for, we are not utilizing it. The recent government, the past government, Buhari's government, there is MISAL, there is other youth empowerment. Many of them, if you see what they are doing, in fact, because of that the money is not used for what it's meant for. Those officials that are in the system to disburse those money, they now queue behind it and use that money to do whatever they want to do with it. So the problem is a good idea, but the issue lies with our NYSCs. How many NYSCs, you can do your findings as journalists, ask how many NYSCs who apply for those schemes are judicially using it. You will find out that out of maybe 15,000 NYSC members, it will be difficult for you to have, out of that it will be difficult for you to have 100, which is less than expectation. So the problem lies, it's a good idea, but it's how to use it that matters. That's my take this morning. Thank you.
Thank you
so
very much. Maimuna, you mentioned something. In as much as the NYSC credit scheme is very important, like you said, and you mentioned the advantages, like providing these youth corpers with financial stability, because of course the fundings will lead to financial stability. I think there are some considerations for effectiveness. There are worries also, like how are they going to implement it. But before implementing it, the considerations to be considered are okay, targeted support. The credit scheme could be beneficial if targeted properly towards viable projects, and you mentioned that also is a target client, like as a normal Nigerian will say. Before we continue, there's another caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for calling. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Okay,
we lost
I think
the call.
We lost him. So I was trying to talk about how it works, because one of the callers said, he was interacting with, a corps member that just finished serving, and the young man knew nothing about the scheme, but it is very, very important that, we educate people on how to have access to the scheme. Hello. Okay, before we proceed, we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning, beautiful ladies. This is Abasekon calling from Gombe State.
Good morning.
Good morning, Abasekon.
How is Gombe this morning?
Gombe, cool.
Good to know. Please kindly share your thoughts.
Sincerely speaking, each time I hear Shetima speak, I'm so happy to hear him analyze issues that affect this country. Yes, I just want to add. Why I want to add is that, is this a good scheme or a good idea? 100% perfect is a very welcome one. Because I vividly do remember my first daughter, she did at NYSC at Ebonyi State. And this cut across going from state to state. And Shetima did his own in Edo State, Benden State. So what is NYSC? How was NYSC brought on board? What is the main purpose and objective of the introduction of NYSC? And how was it formed? So I want us to understand, because if we don't understand, we will not get the actual point. It was General Yakubu Gowon that introduced NYSC. Why was this scheme introduced? It was because of the Civil War. And he tried to integrate this by making sure Nigeria became one. That was why people were posted from different areas so that to ensure that we integrate and then we become one. No discrimination. Sincerely speaking, Gowon had a good initiative about NYSC. And again, it was to act as a backup force in case if there is war and then our soldiers are dying, they will now use that NYSC corps. They will now use it as a backup force. But today, that primary objective has been defeated. That is why we are having, in fact, I don't know whether we lack clue or we lack ideas. That was the primary duty of NYSC. Now, I want to add that their payment is too small. That is why this government came up with an initiative. And this initiative is the credit scheme. If they are not going to eat the money, but if they are going to, as they introduce it, it's a very welcome one. But they should make sure that there is a form everybody will fill as soon as you are posted to NYSC. You fill a form, and then that money is accredited to your account. Maybe you will not touch it. As soon as you pass out, then you go into venture into the business you want to do. If not, they will see the money will go one corner again. Thank you, Trust TV. I really appreciate you people. doing wonderful job, wonderful people, sweet people, lovely people. God bless you and God bless Nigeria.
God bless you, Mr. Abasekon. Thank you very much for calling. Maimuna,
Okay, so
yeah.
we have a WhatsApp message. We'll just jump right in. We have Eugene from Jos, and it says the NYSC credit scheme is not a bad idea, but the major problem here is how it will be managed. Our database is poor, and lack of honesty on both the part of the NYSC officials and core members will affect its smooth running. It would have been a perfect idea if all these factors are checked. Okay, that is a good, thoughts on that. We have another message from Maryam Gilbert from Kaltungo, Gombe State, and she says, "Good morning. The NYSC credit scheme is a good thing and can help them to sustain themselves after NYSC with good handwork, and it will eventually create more job opportunity. We were not lucky with that, but this development is a good one, and I hope there is a proper channel for the distribution of the funds without partiality. Thank you." Thank you, Mrs. Maryam Gilbert, for that message all the way from Gombe State. I mean, Nigerians are sharing their thoughts on the topic at hand. Maryam, please kindly take this one.
Yeah, this one is coming from Usman Santuraki Beti from Jimeta Yola. And he says, "Good morning, Maimuna and Maryam. This initiative is really good one, as the white-collar jobs is nowhere for those who finish universities. The credit scheme will go a long way in making the graduates to be self-reliant and keep body and soul together. And this can be a success story if those charged to do the disbursement has the fear of God." According to what the messages are saying, is it's a good initiative, but it has to be like well sustained and well managed, so to say. And you talked about a caller that said an NYC corper do not really know about the scheme, and it seems most of the youth corpers are not well informed, and maybe the story is not well circulated
Absolutely.
between them.